Check out the big swinger over here.
Yo, yo, yo. How are we doing today, everybody? Good to see you. Welcome to another day here on the channel. Today, we've got something pretty special, and it's not him. Well, I mean, it is him, but we have something else special. Today, we are here with the developers of Solasta. We are here with Emil, the community manager, and the game director, Mr. Xavier. And today, not only are we going to be playing some Solasta 2, but we are going to be talking to them about everything this awesome project has to offer. So, without further delay, Mr. Emil and Xavier, why don't you guys introduce yourself? Emil, how about you go first, and then Xavier can follow up.
Hello, my name is Emil, also known as Mizran Online. I am the community lead at Tactical Adventures. I do everything that has to do with talking to the community, making sure that the feedback is brought back to the team, as well as in my time when I have time, which is very, very little these days, do a lot of like the game design when it comes to anything that has to do with D&D, so the subclasses, the monster design, and all that kind of. So yeah, and Xavier?
Yep. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you just fine. By the way, Miz, if you could turn up your mic just a little bit if you could.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, is that better?
That's much better. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm Xavier and I am game director. So I'm responsible for, let's say, the game experience, which means that the gameplay is fun and works well with the narration, which I was also in charge of, and many other small things. But this is pretty much what I do.
Awesome. So I think most people in my community have heard of Solasta. I did a full playthrough. You guys were so amazing. To put me in the first one as Arwen Merton, cannot be more thankful for that. But a lot of people are going to be introduced to your franchise through 2. So if someone has never heard of the game, what would you tell them that Solasta is?
Well, it is a tactical RPG, so it's very focused on the rule set from D&D that we're using, the latest version of this rule set. And it's pretty much combat focused in terms of gameplay, but we've added a lot on the sides of exploration and storytelling. So it is also an RPG with character development and branching story and so on.
Yeah, to jump on that, well, I remember the elevator pitch we had for Solasta 1 was D&D meets XCOM. So this is basically the, continuation of that. As Xavier said, the Solasta 2 has added a lot when it comes to, well, the graphic visuals, as you know very well, and also like we're trying to push the storytelling a little bit more than what we had in Solasta 1, which was one of the weaker points.
Absolutely. Yeah, so for the record, I just got up to the part where you have to clear the guardhouse. It's been taken over. And I just found out the purple stuff causes necrotic damage when you run over it all the time. And I just want to say how thankful I am that that wasn't on during the initial fight. So whoever decided that, thank you.
It's a bug.
Oh, it's a bug. Oh no, that was the wrong. we barely beat that fight on the hardest difficulty. It was quite a thing. So it has been an adventure. So moving on a little bit as I kind of slowly explore this guardhouse here. Solasta 1 was a very standalone experience. I and many others kind of loved it beginning to end, especially with how kind of faithful it was in the interpretation of the rule set. What made the transition? What made you guys want to make a Solasta 2? I mean, you guys had a lot of success with 1. You could have kind of gone anywhere with it. What brought you back to this franchise and made you go into a 2?
Well, for me, it's simple. First game, every time you create a new franchise, it's kind of a sketch in a way, and you always regret not doing some of the things as well as you wish. And a sequel is really a great chance to make up for that. And I think this is really, for me as a game director, this is what I want. I want to make Solasta 1 but better, with some other additional things, but to do better everything that we didn't do well enough with the first game. And I'll let Emile speak about other aspects, maybe.
Yeah, for the little story, because yeah, we are in friendly territory here, right? So
yes.
we actually had ideas of exploring other type of games, and we had a moment where we're discussing, maybe something sci-fi, maybe something roguelite. And talking about a lot of the stuff, we realized that one of the bigger issue that we kind of were forgetting when looking just at the creative side is that making a video game, a successful one, especially these days, is not very that simple, right? So you make a Solasta one and you get like, fans and people who are like really liking the game, and you're like, do I really want immediately to go and do something else that people might not identify with when they talk about tactical adventures? So after discussing a bit more, we're like, you know what? Solasta 2 sounds like a safer bet. And also, like Xavier said, there's a lot of things that we looked at Solasta 1 and we're like, we just couldn't do this. We just couldn't do that. There's so much more we could have done. And we're like, you know what? Let's just do it better in Solasta 2. So fresh start, and with a lot more experience and people who are like having a game under their belt already. So all good.
So on that note, when you were kind of in that meeting and deciding like, okay, this is the path we want to go, let's make one but better. What were some of your main points you wanted to hit on? What were some of those focus points that made you go, yeah, this is going to be enough to like make a whole new game?
Well, as Emile said, I think I had regrets about the narrative part because I had to fight a little, but I felt like we didn't invest enough. I'm working with the voice actors, and I'm very keen on having the best performance possible. But for everybody who works in that kind of a field, that actors need time, need to be invested, and know their character and the story. And it's just not speaking in a mic. And when you have not enough time for actors to get involved, you get what they can do when they come up in the morning and, okay, today you're going to do this, and just speak the words.
It just becomes a job. Yeah.
Yes, and they can do better because it's just not how it works. So this time I said, okay, I know there are critics about the story, but if we want to go further, first of all, we need more ambitions in terms of what story you want to tell. Go beyond, chasing monster and saving the world with a magical item. Bring some emotion, something personal and universal to the story. And to do that, we need actors to have the time to get involved. So not only good actors, because I don't think the actors in the first game were so bad. It's just that they didn't have the means to work well. So what we did this time is really taking the time to present the story and the characters to our main actors so that they can do the job right, and they really appreciate that. And I think you can hear the difference. So that was one of the things.
Can confirm. You absolutely can. Yes.
No surprise, but it's good to hear it. And then there are some things about the gameplay. Personally, I wanted for the first game to have this free roaming on the adventure map, but we decided it would be too costly and complicated for the first game. There's also having multi-classing, multiplayer right away in the engine, not just on top of it like the first game. So it's a lot of things that we could do better. That's what comes to mind for me. Maybe Emile has some other points.
Yeah, so it's a big redo because you have to remember that the first I'm not gonna say like first Solasta was not built with like stick and stones. It was already like a fair amount of investment, and a lot of like the team was experienced developers, experienced game designers, and all that kind of thing. But we were limited in what we could or could not do. For example, Xavier's example of the world map was something we explored in Solasta 1, but because of the fact that it would be too empty because we didn't have the means to actually populate it on top of making the story, that would make it, just go around doing nothing in particular, which was, not very interesting, right? So that's why in the first game, we decided to go from point A to point B once point B is, discovered. And you had like a few options, but not so much. And the other things that Xavier brought up with the story, with the, especially the budget, is that we, as a small independent studio, you also need to really know where you want to put your money in. So Solasta 2 allowed us to have a little bit more, and Xavier fought a lot for a better, a more investment into voice acting, because as you know, because everything is voice acted, that means
Yes.
that a lot of the things in Solasta 1 that couldn't be developed, for example, some people were complaining that Solasta 1 NPCs were too direct. They would just say, go there, do this. And you couldn't really feel like a attachment to those NPC. And the big reason is because even though Xavier would have loved to like explore more dialogues to make them more, living, well, everything we make them say is costing more. So at some point we had to say, well, we cut all those things and we just keep the necessary lines.
Oh,
so
man.
Solasta 2 hopefully has a bit more in that.
Yeah, I was going to say just in the little bit I played Solasta 2 now, I want to say for 4 or 5 hours about, and the difference is night and day in terms of the characters, the information they're delivering, how they're delivering it. Everyone seems so much more immersed in the world, which is a very, very nice change. It's a completely different level of production. So on that note, what were, outside of the kind of takeaways you guys said there, was there anything that design-wise, not necessarily resource limiting, but design-wise, you guys went, you know what, let's kind of like redo that between the games, or let's kind of do that one over? Were there any kind of things like that between 1 and 2?
Completely redo. I think maybe the crafting system, it's going to be pretty different. Because we're using time. You needed to spend time to craft, so traveling, etc. So I thought it wasn't the best idea in the end. It's going to be different, but we're going to keep the idea of having some magical stuff. Those, for instance, you can loot on monsters to craft some unique items, but it's going to be pretty different. There's also the idea, it's not done yet, but I'm pretty sure we're going to make it, that you can dismantle objects that you have crafted to get back some of the money you invested because you want to change the use of that object.
Oh, cool. Okay.
For me, this is the biggest change in terms of game design, because apart from that, there is the structure, you've noticed the factions. So this is something we tried with the Lost Valley DLC, but it was also kind of a hack of the system, and there was lots of flaws, because you were not supposed to kill NPCs in Solasta 1. So it broke the game a lot in Lost Valley, and we had a lot of debug to do. So this time, the idea is that you have those factions that can side with or against prominent NPCs, such as the one you probably already met, like Jepfa. And we want them to evolve with you, level up, so that they never become a burden and someone you have to save all the time. And they can die, and if they die, the story will take that in account. It's a lot of work on the writing side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dang, and that's all voice. That means all new voice acting, all new story paths. Like, dang. Okay.
Yeah, QA's gonna hate Xavier for that.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
that's a big undertaking.
I love it. This is one of my preferred spots. Is you will notice if you will reach the end, there is this big dungeon, and you can have 2 companions with you. And if you have them with you, they will sometimes tell things about the way they feel about this adventure and what happened before. And if you don't have them, they don't say that. And which means you can, later in the game, in the full game, you will be able to do adventures with various companions, and you will always have a different narrative experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That harkens back to like Mass Effect. I would do playthroughs of Mass Effect just to do different characters, to like learn about them and hear their dialogue and stuff.
Yeah. And that's my Bible. Mass Effect is one of my preferred game of all times.
Oh,
yeah, can you tell?
There we go. Yeah, that's that. Well, that's fantastic to hear. That a lot of that in here is just going to make it even better. So behind the scenes, you guys as a studio have undergone quite an evolution, pretty clearly by just what you're delivering. What's it been like going from kind of that scrappy, we have to cut lines just to kind of get this game out, into, I mean, now you guys are kind of you're crafting something of, to put it bluntly, kind of on a different level now. This is a different level game. So what's it been like on the back end? What's it been like in the team to kind of go through this metamorphosis between the 2 games?
I think on this one, you have to remember that even though the production value is better, it does not change that much from Solasta 1, except for the fact that we have made mistakes, we have made like improvements, and we kind of like avoid falling into the same pitfalls. But we are, at the end of the day, we are more than in Solasta 1, but we're still like 38 internally, if I remember correctly. So it's still
Wow.
a very small studio. So we're not just 38 because there is also like external partner helping us to work on 3D or localization or QA, like a lot of like, UI and all that kind of thing. So we do have a lot of good partners that we keep on working with. But overall, the studio hasn't really changed so much as it has improved on the way we do things. Like we know now that, hey, maybe this kind of stuff that takes a lot of time, we should try to start working on it much earlier to make sure that it works by the time we want to release early access and stuff like that. But thankfully, we have a very, very talented and also very serious production director who is making sure that, like you're saying, like sometimes you're kind of scrappy and all that kind of thing. She's making sure that for all our ambition, we have the manpower and the time behind. It's like sometimes and very often, actually, we she comes to us and say, "Okay, you want A, B, and C? Well, we don't have the time for all three. You can choose two, so you have to choose two. Even though you want all three, we know everyone wants all three. You have to choose, and that's a very, very hard part of the game development that Xavier has to, deal with every day or every week. That the programmers also have to deal with every day, every week. So it's how we make sure that the game comes out at the end in a state that everybody agreed on, and not just like we try to add everything we could and just like half of it went in and half of it didn't really. And it's kind of like it stands, but it's a little bit wobbly, right? We don't want that at the end.
100%, man. And just to say, I think we all know how frustrating that person is and how insanely mandatory that person is. Like that's how games get made, is that position. That's how they actually become real games. That is awesome. I can only imagine with kind of the scope, especially with the Mass Effect influence, those must be some interesting conversations, Xavier.
Yes, I mean, there are
Xavier,
few
excuse me.
people. Sorry, there are a few people in the team who really know how big the narrative part is, because I do presentations for the whole team so that they can follow up with the story and the branching. But every time I realize, oh, if they knew all the subdivisions and small branches and one-liners that we're dealing with, they would be scared. So yeah, it's big. So that's for me regarding the impact of this game on the team. I think there's much difference between the engineer team. It was a really big work for them to change working from Unity to Unreal.
Yeah.
And it's a really difficult job because it's an engine that crashes. You make a mistake, it crashes. You have to restart everything, and Unity just froze. So we could just stop, and it's a real different aspect. And sometimes you hear people yelling in the open space, like, I won't say the word, but you know what they say. And they have this crash out of nowhere. And this affects also other people, but the engineers get the most crashes. And for the artist, it's fantastic because it's much easier to do some good stuff and good lighting, so they're very happy. So the experience is different for everyone, I'd say.
Oh man, that's awesome. So on that note, as you guys have now, fine-tuned your team, moved to Unreal, kind of getting into this new project, any kind of fun stories you can think of? Any fun little one-off stories that have maybe transpired during that process? Things that may have surprised you between 1 and 2?
So you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, we keep having those weird bugs that make for great screensavers. For instance, the big boot, that's one of our, someone from my team, Victoria, she had this happening on the build that was almost the last build to release. And oh, magic boots, and they will look like you're in an anime with super huge boots. And she made a screenshot, and it's so good looking that it's her screensaver now. And we have some funny bugs. Obviously, with this engine, sometimes your characters get bigger or taller, or they fly. And we have like a collection of these weird bugs, which is pretty funny. But I think for me that the anecdotes are more on the human side of the experience of working with new people. And there is this anecdote that I love because it's still impacting my life as of today. So we started doing some mocap, and we met this woman who is an actress and performer. And she visited the studio, and our marketing director asked her, "Oh, did you play tabletop RPGs?" And she said, "No, but I'd like to try, but I never had the chance." And he said, "Oh, Xavier would be happy to make a game for you to try it." So obviously I said, "Yeah, sure." She says that, but she will never do it. And she did. And so, long story short, it's been like a year, and she's now playing D&D with us.
That's
Which
awesome.
is amazing.
And this is her first time ever playing it, pretty much, and she's like doing it for this and kind of meeting. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, nice story.
Yeah, after hours D&D is a thing in the studio. It's not only D&D, we also play one shot of Cthulhu, and we have quite a few people just DMing and having some campaigns running. So obviously these days it's a little bit harder because of how busy it gets. But I am personally in a campaign with Xavier as well, with Xavier being the DM, and it's basically a parallel team to the one where the I was going to say voice actor, no, cascade artist. How do we say that in English? Motion capture.
Oh
Person?
yeah,
Yeah.
motion capture director.
Yeah.
Yeah, motion director. Absolutely, that's what I've heard it as.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, there's D&D running. On topic of like funny stories or bugs. Okay, so yeah, there's one thing that just as a heads up, people. So we had a fan that tried to come to the studio to say hello, and I know that it's something that some people might think it's really really sweet, but
Oh no.
unfortunately, the office is not open to visitors. We were like, so please don't do this, or at least send us a mail beforehand so we can tell you like if we are open and when you can come, but like please don't do that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know it comes from like a place of good heart and just someone who's really enthusiastic, but we just can't do that. So that's one of the funny thing that happened in Solasta 2 because we were too small in Solasta 1 for this to happen. Second thing that I think the bug is still in there. If you get the supporter pack, there's a like cosmetic item called like the flaming boots or something. Right now, when you open the inventory, the flaming boots will have fire in the inventory, and the thing is, it never goes out. So every time you open the inventory, there's more fire. At some point, you open the inventory, and there's like 4 or 5 fires on the on the carpet. It's gonna be
Oh,
fixed one day. For the moment, it's a feature, not a bug.
at the moment, I love that. That is fantastic. Yeah, and just real quick for the record, yeah, please don't ever go to a place without checking first if it's like a business. That's like a big thing. It's not like they don't want to see you, but at the same time, if you were to randomly show up at a place of business and they had important documents laying out and business stuff and all sorts of stuff, like you gotta be ready for that. But that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard of a dev having to deal with that. We deal with that in the streaming space sometime, but I think that's the first. I think that's the first that dev has dealt with it. That's congratulations. It's a first for me. Going back to Xavier a little bit, were there any now, and this is kind of like a yes or no, and you can expand on it if it's a yes. Were there any significant core rule changes that came with Solasta 2? Did you guys have to change or do anything different than one that Solasta 1 players may be encountering differently, or just because you wanted to change it?
Well, we changed things because we changed the rule set, so it's mostly that. A lot of things we wanted to do, like being able to use a potion with a bonus action, but that came with the new rule set. And apart from that, there are really, really small things like reducing rations to 1 ration for the whole party to avoid cluttering your inventory with stuff.
Great call on that. Yeah. I thought it was bugged at first, and then I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is much better.
Yeah, well, there are some things that we'd like to simplify, but we're trying to stick to the rules as written. But yeah, there's the inventory. Also, we have this it's optional actually that your inventory has limitations. So we have that, but we made it optional because a lot of people are having a hard time not to pick up everything. I think I know what I'm talking about.
I have
And
no
then
idea.
if you slow down, it's painful. And we are going to add the system that we created for the first game, the scavengers, even if they're named differently.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, so it's gonna happen next.
Great. Yeah, that scavenger system is not only phenomenal, But a little bit of a little bit of a spoiler. I might be working on a game, and that was a very influential mechanic. That was one of the first times. I mean, that is there's so many fun things that are solved with a mechanic like that. That's just never been done before. So it's a really, really good one. That's really cool. So with the new rule set, have there been any rules that the new rule set introduced where you were like, no, we can't do that, or that's not going to work?
I don't think there are specific points. I know there are a lot of additional choices you can do as a player. So if we want to do it right, you're always interrupted by, do you want to do this or that? Do you want to change the damage type? Do you want to? And I think we did it. Emil, any big rule change do you have in mind?
Yeah, I was the guy who basically like went down and read like all those different changes and submitted them to the team. As far as I know, we tried to stick as much as possible to 5.5. There may be a few things that we haven't been able to implement, but now that I think about it, I don't know if they're specific to 5.5 or if it's just like things were never implemented in Solasta in the first place because it's too complex. For example, like everything that has to do with shit, what's the name of it? Sorry. Wrestling? What's the name of this?
Oh, grappling.
Grappling.
Yeah.
Yeah, grapple. Because grapple, like even BG3, you see that they don't have grappling because it's a nightmare in terms of animation. Like you would have to do humanoid to monster to a specific monster to every type of monster.
Yeah.
So it's like
wow.
it's super costly. No, I don't think it comes to mind anything specific to 5.5 that we didn't add. So far so good. If you see any, please let us know.
Okay, so interesting. This is just a kind of tack on question that you just brought up an interesting point too. So the approach to early access in Solasta 1 was, I feel, in a lot of ways instrumental in how you guys did that. Are you guys basically doing that again for 2? What is your perspective on the early access period, and how are you planning to utilize it?
So early access is a very important process for us because it helped a lot to understand what people liked or didn't like. I think it's going to be a fairly like common representation of early access where we have a plan up to 1.0 already. That's to make sure that we don't like leave the game in early access forever. That's unfortunately some games on Steam see that kind of thing. So we got a plan, we got a budget, but early access helped us expand that plan or switch a little bit that plan whenever we see that some things are not necessarily being appreciated as we thought it would be. So for example, right now, as a lot of you might have seen on the Steam page, a lot of people are talking about the character creator and how it didn't really fit their vision of how you could create a character properly. So we are discussing about that, and because it's early access and not 1.0, we're already like we have plans to say, hey, because it's early access, we are absolutely ready to make some changes because that's also what we're here for. We are seeing the reviews and we're adjusting to, hey, this is not okay. So it's like, okay, well, in that case, maybe prioritize this over some other things.
Yeah, looking at the most of those comments, it looks like you guys just need a button at the end of character creation, and when you save your character, it applies one of those cute Instagram filters over it, and then that's just your character, like super nice cheekbones and everything. Now, I have seen a lot of feedback on people saying that, like, why can't I make my character hot? That's what I keep seeing. What I want to be hotter. I want to be. So it sounds like that has been received from a feedback perspective.
I think it's that you can make a character like good looking, but it takes so much effort. You yourself have like seen how like time consuming can be, right? So
it's big.
Like I would rather do one character and then it's like, oh, the 3 others, like and then you just start like pressing the run button, and then at the end of the day you're like, they're not so good looking, because you don't want to spend necessarily 3 hours in the character creation.
Yeah.
So we are discussing that, and we're trying to think about how we can offer more preset that are already kind of good looking, or also seeing how we can maybe simplify a few things so that you can adjust like easier without having to change everything. But that's more of a long-term discussion because it will take time, considering how like the character creator is made. And if we want to change stuff or how we're going to change stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it sounds like it could be just as easy as adding a bunch of hot presets and telling people like, go pick one of those or something. But yeah, that's cool. It is a very expansive character creator. I was pretty happy with mine. But then again, I don't really need to have a super interactive party. So I thought it worked fine. Going to changes and things that you're working on in the EA process. Have there been any aspects of any of the classes, maybe because it's 2 or because of the updated rule set, that have really been kind of fun inside the team or that you guys have really enjoyed personally? Any class mechanics or class additions or anything that you like that is translating into the game well?
So in terms of classes, because I'm the one mostly working on the classes and the subclasses, I think one of the biggest addition that we really, really enjoy is the fact that martial classes have more options thanks to weapon masteries. There's also a few things in Solasta 1 that we did at the very beginning where we made some design choices that didn't really mesh too well with what we wanted to do. And at the end of the day, if you saw like Solasta 1, if you followed after the release of 1.0 and the DLCs, we even went back when we released a source book to change some of the features, the class features, to make it more on par with tabletop RPG, the power level, and with multi-classing in mind, which now is a thing that we have to work with because Solasta 1 did not have official multi-classing. So we could just say, well, we're doing our things, and those who mod multi-class will have to deal with it. Now in Solasta 2, we are more in the lines of, hey, we are going to... a cutscene. So,
I paused it because I'm sorry. I'll go into it, but please continue.
No worries. We're going to design around the space that, hey, there is a possibility of multi-classing, so we cannot do some of the choices we did in the past, and we have to be a little more, careful about the powers we design to the classes. One of the biggest example, and I'm going to shut up after that because I talk a lot, is that...
the more the better, man.
is that in the past we didn't know for sure that we would have all the other classes, so we had to at some point we did the green mage because we didn't know if we would have like a druid in the future. Now in Solasta 2, because we want to have all classes by 1.0, and a big word is want to.
Okay.
It's like we're trying to aim for that so that we don't have to sell more in DLCs in the classes, but if we can, let's do this. That also means that the subclasses we make are trying to respect all the different design of the existing classes, so it doesn't really step on each other's foot.
Awesome. That actually was a question that I saw asked in chat yesterday because they said I'm holding off on buying until I can play my warlock because that's all I play. Is that going to be coming? And it sounds like that could be very positive. That's very cool. Yeah. No. So this is really interesting. So I came to this side area on the way to the camp that the halfling girl was taking me to. And I tried to do a fight here and got completely wrecked. There were like a bunch of creatures, 2 matriarch style creatures. They just owned me. So I was like, I'm going to come back later. So while we were talking here, I was running back to that fight because I just leveled, and I just happened to notice while Emil was talking, I was like, oh, there's some blue footprints over here. Let me go click on those. I missed those the first time. Got a wisdom check that then brought me to a door. And I was like, oh, a zone. What is this? Now I click on this. Now there's a cutscene I apparently missed the first time. This is really wild. This is really wild. I completely missed this the first time I came through here, I guess. Very, very fun.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. So it's the first time you're seeing this cutscene?
Yeah, the very first time.
Okay, so there are a few anecdotes
No
about
way.
that.
You'll have to come and
I'm gonna
get
watch
me.
it real quick.
There is no
How you do
escape. You're simply delaying the inevitable. We'll see about that. Fine. Your funeral.
What's going on here?
Help! He's trying to kill me.
Yeah, you will see this
Stay
is
out
one
of
of
this,
those
stranger.
cutscenes with
And who are you?
multiple
The
choices.
servant of the
Yeah.
Lady Anabazia.
With
This man
strong
is wanted for
consequences.
espionage. I have full
This
sign
VO is so
authority
great,
to
man.
take him in. He's going to kill me. He's one of the Beacon's executioners.
Oh, this is the first time with the choices. Look at this. Advantage Spy. We're on a secret mission for Anabasia. Oh, there it
You're in a
is.
top secret mission for the Lady Anabazia to infiltrate this spy's network.
Yeah, Nuri.
Since when did you become one of our agents?
That's why the Lady Anabazia recruited us. Nobody knows who we are. Now, just walk away and pretend you're angry. We'll mention your help in our report.
This is an outrage. Who gave you authority to interfere? Lady Anabasia will hear about this.
Cool. So that could have been a fight.
Yes.
I suppose I should
Absolutely.
thank you, whoever you are.
We're the Colwolds.
Oh,
You could also
that's
leave
right.
this guy to be
What was that
murdered.
password again?
8 circles make one.
Where did you hear that?
Your friend, Jira. He told us to come here and tell you that.
You mean... Jira? Is he...
I'm afraid so. He was executed.
I thought I'd be prepared. But... somehow I hoped. That bastard was always braver than me. Now he's a martyr.
I feel like those 2 lines right there we wouldn't have heard in Solasta 1. And they add so much to like
He told us
the
about
whole
your
scene.
republic
Oh man.
and the
Yes.
beacon. We wanted to help your cause.
Well, I don't think Jira would have just given out the password, even if he was tortured. So, I guess I have to trust you.
You're safe from Anabasia's agents. At least for now. What will you do?
I have to get back to Kaya Treffia, deliver this box to my supervisor.
See, now this is where, man, this is where I'm having trouble because I have no idea who I want to go with yet. Like the beacon looks like it could be cool, but I mean, this guy seems kind of like the whole Jira aspect looks kind of interesting, man. I'm going to kind of just, I think, go along.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, this is you have some time before you make the decisions that are committing you forever. So at first you can try to play nice with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes the point where they ask you to do something that will break your relationships with others.
Yep. Oh, there's always that choice moment. Let's see. Who is your supervisor?
Your supervisor? Who's that?
Tribune Galana Silvermoon. She's a great person. I'm sure she's going to be a senator someday. Lovely lady.
And what's a tribune?
What's a tribune?
Oh, you really are new here. It's a high political
Ouch.
rank. We're very... organized as a state.
Interesting. And senators are the highest rank.
Yes and no. As I said, it's complicated. I'm not too political, not like that.
I see.
I like this guy already. My moderator just said, I found this on my first pass and none of my speech options worked. And this was one heck of a fight at level 2. I bet,
Oh, yeah.
man. I bet. Yeah, I bet. What's in the box?
So, what's in the box?
Just look. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I can trust you that much yet.
But you said it yourself. Jira wouldn't have given us the
Oh,
password
I
if
just
you
had a
couldn't
hidden
trust
charisma
us.
check pass.
Fine. It's an
Nice.
Aquilan banner. I took it from a beacon agent. Jira said this proved the beacon was interfering in the affairs of the Aquilan.
A banner? That's it? That's all you have?
Not just any banner. A royal banner. Only carried by royalty. Not something you buy in a market. Not in Kayamar, anyway. There was a big regime change not long back, all of a sudden. As soon as it happened, all Aquilan trade and diplomatic relations with the Republic were stopped.
And you think this banner proves what?
Look, I'm not the brains. This was Jira's theory. I need to get this back to Tribune Silvermoon. She's, smarter than I am.
We need to go.
We have other pressing matters to attend to. But maybe we'll come
Yes,
visit
so there are a lot of
someday.
things to
If you
say
say
about
so.
this whole thing. First
If
of
you don't
all,
mind,
normally
I'd
you
like to
could
name you in my
continue the
report.
quest, but
that
we don't have
alright?
the end of the quest in the early access, so we
guess I'll be on
just
my
cut
way
it
then.
here. You can go
Farewell.
with this guy
And may the
back
light of
home.
the Nexus shine on you, Cohh.
There are references to another faction that you haven't met yet because we also didn't have sufficient quality content to present it in the early access. And so the fun story is in this dialogue you can go say, okay, let's make sure Anabasia likes us and let these guys kill the spy. So this guy is a potential companion later in the game, but you can let him die. And then he
wow.
gets murdered. There's one guy behind him, invisible, and he will stab him in the back if you let him be murdered. And so when we were trying those mocap sessions, we did some of it ourselves. And,
Oh, really?
So I did this this animation with our animation lead. Actually, I stabbed him in the back And like, my reference was really The Last of Us style. And then it was decided that my animation was too violent and that would get us rated X. So we did something softer. But we have this on video. I'm very happy that I've murdered my colleague. So there are a lot of small things that we mock up ourselves. It's always funny to see yourself and you say, "Oh, I recognize your body style here."
So
Pretty cool.
I don't know if you guys are doing this, but I just completed Resident Evil 9, and one of the things they give you if you beat that game is a bonus video of the behind-the-scenes mocapping, and then shows like the in-game scenes and the mocap scenes. Dude,
Yeah.
if you guys get any of your devs in something like that, that would be so amazing to watch. That'd be like a reward for beating the game, watching the devs like do the mocap stuff. And oh man. Also, I don't think I've ever heard of a mocap being too violent for games. I'm impressed. That seems like an achievement you unlocked. Especially these days. Oh man. So kind of moving back to our some general questions here. It seems like the environments have leveled up a bit as well. Now, maybe some of this is due to the engine, because the lighting just does look phenomenal. But I mean, the environments are wildly immersive. Like, did you guys go through any kind of transition in how you think about the environments between 1 and 2, or is this just kind of a natural growth of skills kind of thing?
I think regarding the artists that we have, they've always been the best, but maybe they have more freedom now. And also, I want to shout out for my colleague Paul Etienne, who is a really visionary guy. He worked on level design mostly in the first game, and he had so incredible ideas and direction for these things that he's pretty much in charge of leading the effort on that, so that every place has a real great vision of how it should look like. And I think we have more power with the means that we have with the engine, and more ambition, and still a great execution. So it gives what you see today.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much top of class. Like the thing that I was talking about when I was playing through the demo the first time is, it would be tough if you showed me side by sides of like this in Baldur's Gate 3, just the environments, and told me to pick, which I think is honestly pretty great when you think of the production that went into that one, the sheer money. So no, it's very impressive. It's very impressive. Definitely enjoyed it. Like I went into the tavern in the main city and just zoomed in and kind of went around and looked at all the tables and all the little nooks and how they were all different. There's not copy pasting. Like it's very natural, which immersive, I think is the best way to say it. But yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. Kind of a follow-up question. Same with kind of the music, the sound effects. Like it seems like everything is kind of ranked up a little bit. Any changes in those departments?
You're right that this is something we didn't talk about, but it was something we identified as we can do better. And we went looking for new partners. And we found a French studio called Arcade, who is doing pretty much the sound design. We work with the same musician, the composer, but we really wanted I think we can say on that Baldur's Gate 3 was really influential, because we noticed how much powerful everything felt when playing this game, and we thought we need something that goes in that direction. We don't need to do exactly the same, but we want to feel like if you use a power from your class or anything, you should really feel like this quality, and that was some work done in that regard. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. So as we kind of get towards the end of our first hour, first of all, I do want to just give a huge shout out and thank you again to the developers over at Solasta for sponsoring the stream today. We are playing and talking about Solasta 2. This is the second iteration of the Solasta franchise from our friends at TCG. And this is available right now in early access. A big question that I got asked and get asked pretty much every time I play this is, do you need to play the first game to play and experience this one? So instead of answering that myself, Xavier, what is your official response to that? And Emile?
No. The answer is no, you don't need to, and you will not lose anything, I think. And obviously, it's a plus if you play the first game because you know the universe. When you speak about the deities or the kingdom where you come from, but pretty much in the game,
Undignified.
you're dropped in this new
but
world
necessary.
with no references to the first game. So no, it's absolutely okay to start with Solasta 2.
Awesome. I do want to throw in there, by the way, though, Solasta 1 is still an awesome game. So if you like this game, you'll probably really enjoy the Solasta 1 too. So even though you don't need to play it, it's also probably really well priced right now, I would imagine. But definitely worth checking out. So real quick, one of the things we wanted to do is I came to this interview with a lot of questions, which we've gone through most of. But these guys are pretty much awesome enough to be here for the entire duration of the stream. I know most of the time we do this stuff, it's like 30 minutes or an hour. These guys are here the whole time. So if you guys are cool with it, like I'd love to just kind of keep playing through the game, add any commentary you'd like, and then we can start taking some questions from chat. Anything you guys see you'd like to talk about, like anything we want to do from this point on is great. I'm gonna try this fight again now that I'm level 3, and I'm gonna see if I can maybe somehow make this work.
So
Yeah, well, balancing is a good topic to discuss.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you guys approaching that?
For now, I think we are lacking a few tools that I've been desperately asking for. But again, we say, oh, this is early access, it's going to be fine. And it is mostly, but yes, if you go to this place and you find these guys, the Sand Lions level 2, to be fair, you can cheese the game at this point, which I don't like, but you can. Playing with the environment to limit their movement. If you don't, it's hard.
Yeah. I tried to do some high ground stuff. Not quite to the Skyrim level of jumping on a rock yet, but I may have to go that route.
Yeah, so I know it's difficult. So apparently you played the Sentinel battle already. Mm-hmm. You were level 3, I guess, too. This one we had, first of all, it was very hard, so we made it much easier, but then we fixed some bugs so that the enemies became stronger again.
Whoops.
And it's a difficult one to balance because you can do it at very different levels, and in this game, if you're level 2 or 4, it makes a world of a difference. So we need to have something to adjust. But that's my policy, to adjust to the player's current party level. That was tough.
Oh, that guy hit hard.
Yeah.
Oh my! All right, we'll make this work.
So yeah, know that we're working on balancing and making it work all the time.
That is excellent. That is excellent. Rita Galaxy, they talked about this a little bit, but just to kind of go over it again, Rita Galaxy says, will you be using player feedback during EA Access? I've seen a lot of great feedback and I've submitted my own, so I'm curious if feedback is used during early access or if the changes will be coming post-launch.
So this will depend a lot on how difficult the feedback is, and also how difficult to implement, and also how often it is raised, right? If someone is if a lot of people are saying, hey, this probably should be improved, we're probably going to take a look at it and go, okay, well, maybe we can do something about that. And depending on if it's easy or not, it's also going to be oh, maybe we can add it in our next update. Or it's oh, this is more of a big 1.0 update change that we need to do. So, and of course, also because of the size of the team, you have to remember not every single feedback will be implemented. That would be asking a little bit too much. But we're trying our best to make sure that you guys are heard. For example, oh, by the way, if you want to report bugs or send feedback, the best way to do that now is to go to our website, and there's a create a ticket function. We are up to, I think last I checked this morning, 1,800 tickets. So it's going to take a bit of time for us to process it all.
Wow.
But yeah, at least now we know, and now people are using it. So that's cool. So yeah, that's a good thing, because in the past we were hunting after Discord messages, Steam forums, our own forums. Some people were sending mails. It was a very, very difficult thing to try to get all the feedback together.
Oh, the two giant beasts can heal themselves in AoE as well. Okay, no, this is fine. Oh, a very important question, Emil. What is the name of the cat?
Oh, this one is Oliver, and the one that was earlier, it was Millie. And they are very, very, let's say, they do like to be there when I'm, for some reason, have my camera on. They have like some sixth sense to do that.
Classic cat. I feel that in my bones. Satellus LX says, how much emphasis are they putting on recognizing your character's choices, background, class, etc. into dialogue?
That's for Xavier.
Regarding classes and background, I think it's mostly when you have ability checks to do, and you get advantage or auto success. Because, as you know, every time, since we voice everything, every time you want to do an alternate thing for whatever reason, the budget explodes with 4 times every line. So, as you know, in Solasta 1, we wanted to do something very difficult. This was my idea, to have 3 types of language you can speak as a noble or as a street urchin or neutral. So you would fill the social origin of your character, and we did that for like 2 first hours of the game, and then I saw the budget for voice recording, and I said, okay, we can't do that for the whole game. So here we use this family role and personality system. We decide who says that in what fashion, but we're not really using the backgrounds and classes for the content of the lines, more for like your chances of success.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, one of the examples, sorry, is some people have asked, do we have a background quest like in the first game? And we are not able to do that for the moment. So right now we want to propose more quests, more choices, but it's mostly going to be the different factions, not necessarily the background you chose.
Yeah, that's interesting thing, because we discussed that. We wanted to have background quests like in the first game. And the thing is, okay, so you are the other side of the world and you cannot reconnect with your past because everyone is not here. So you would have to meet someone on Neokos that comes from the other continent like you.
Oh,
and
cool.
we thought about things, but it's very complicated, and it can happen for one of you guys, the 4 of them. It's like, okay, this is convenient. So we didn't find a good way to do that.
Oh, that definitely seems like a lot. Somebody said, wait, is Cohh actually playing or is this a video? Oh no, if you notice me dying horribly, this is me playing. Yeah. we kind of do all of it here. So Solasta 1, and well, actually I'll just kind of go right into the question. How are you guys feeling about modding in your game?
On this one, I think I can answer that. So modding is something we've always been very admirative about. Solasta 1 has been modded to bits by someone who is actually in our Discord, and we know him very well. He was trying to mod Solasta 2, last I checked, but he was a little bit busy. And we actually already see that on Nexus mods, we are starting to see mods for Solasta 2. One would be Japanese AI translation, because we don't have Japanese supported. Another one was Ukrainian. And also the first mod to be seen on Nexus mod is a mod that adds Tifa's purple dress for some reason. So never underestimate modders, I would say. Yeah.
Oh, we are in for some interesting Solasta 2 runs in our future. Okay.
Drink some water.
That's awesome. Here's a quick question for me as chat comes up with some more questions. You guys talking, kind of going on the theme of ranking up between Solasta 1 and 2. You guys have a killer cast. Like, oh my lord, an absolutely like this is your cast of characters is not only good, but it's a cast that's really good at these types of roles. They're very immersive to what you're. How did you guys come up with this? Was this just a pure resource issue, or was it more of a we really want to get up this kind of story aspect of the game?
Oh, we wanted to. To be honest, at first I thought it would be impossible for us to go to the new stars from Baldur's Gate 3, for instance. The first one was we're looking for someone for a big villain, so this was Amelia Tyler for me was an obvious choice because of what she can do basically, with a voice. And as it happened, we knew someone who knew her, and it helped, I think, getting her on board. And as I said, we had a long chat with her, presenting the story, our ambitions, her character, and she really loved being Shadowin. So it was super cool to have our first star on board. And we started working with her early for our first trailer, actually. When the others, it was a bit after. I knew we needed to have great actors for your siblings, for Ricard and Dorcas. And at first, I thought if we try to get everyone for Baldur's Gate 3, it will feel like we're, I don't know, piggybacking on them or something. So I say, okay, yeah, we can maybe have one. Yeah, Deborah White was a good choice. I said, okay, she has a specific way of speaking in Baldur's Gate 3, so it's not going to be exactly the same, because she's not a Githyanki. And then for Ricard, I think, I mean, Ben Starr was already on the rise as a superstar in that regard. And again, we knew someone who knew him. So we had
the
both
right
of them.
people.
Yeah, I knew it was funny because at the time, I think it was before the release of Terra Obscure, and we had them both in the call, exposing the roles we wanted to offer them, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna be brothers and sisters again. We have to stop doing that." And it was, I didn't know, and then I realized that they have an incredible chemistry. Well, as you could see in the game, first they fight, but when you have them in the same room, it's just, they're unstoppable. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And we also had a more thorough casting process with asking for a lot of self-tapes for even the secondary roles, trying to find people with really specific things in their voice. And yeah, this is pretty fun. And also Ellen Thomas, also something for Anabasia. We all have seen Arcade in the studio, and we loved that show. And it's our art director. He told me, "Hey, you know, we should have her." And it was like, she's even more, you know, she's a superstar in the UK or whatever. And yeah, she said, "Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do that." So we're super happy to have them. Yeah.
How cool. That actually sets up this next question really well, because it sounds like there is some of this. So Kawaii says, can you please ask if what games outside of classic RPGs have influenced the production, or any particular novels or movies that inspired the developers?
It's a tough question, I can answer for me. I know our technical director is a big fan of, what's his name, Mr. Sanderson.
Brandon Sanderson.
Brandon Sanderson.
Big fan myself.
Yeah. So influences, I'd say, well, I'm a big fan of Dragon Age, the first one, especially.
Ooh,
yes, as I said already, Mass Effect. It's not fantasy, but it's for the type of game and the characters, what you do with them, and the companionship and stuff. It's a strong influence. So I don't know, Amy, if you have any other ideas, because there are so many things that influenced me. I've been 28 years in this industry, so it's too much.
Now, for me, it's like mostly being kind of like making sure that the D&D principle is respected. So I'm basing a lot on Icewind Dale 2 and on Temple of Elemental Evil, which were both very, very similar in kind of ideas, where it's like a party-based game with the strong D&D rules, and like, you know, also the I would say, like, it's not turn-based, those ones, but they were a big inspiration for me whenever I'm looking at it and be like, is that D&D enough? And then like, trying to think about those games.
Dropped here long ago. Someone was here pretty recently. Probably our spy.
Those are some pretty great influence, I have to say. Of like, I can count on the amount of times I've heard Icewind Dale 2 mentioned as an influence. That's one of my favorite CRPGs, and TOE as well. Like, I was a huge Arcanum, Baldur's Gate, Fallout 2. That's what built my gaming, was those CRPGs. So that's really good to hear and makes a lot of sense. Factory Force says, Emil is baiting us with a cute kitty on his lap, and it's working. Yes. Yes, I would agree with that completely. We had a question from one of my moderators, and he is actually a DM. He likes to DM. He says, any plans for a Solasta 2 campaign guide? I use so much of the first one in my own games.
I can talk about this one because we were basically... so Solasta 1 had a source book, right? And it was pretty much a promise that we did during Kickstarter, so we ended up having to do this project, which was a side project, and it took much more, like, say, effort and time than we first expected, because, you know, we are mostly game developers, you know, video game, right? So we're like, oh, you know, how hard could it be to source book out of, like, the Solasta franchise? It turns out, yes, it is very difficult. Like, I don't know why we expected anything less than that, because, of course, we are playing tabletop RPG a lot. So we ended up releasing the book much longer after when we thought we would. Like, we thought we would be able to do it by 1.0, but obviously, since all the writers, all the game designers are busy on the video game, that means very little time can be put into the source book. And we don't want to, like, externalize the source book to people who might not know this, you know, the game as well. So for the second game, you might have seen we haven't announced anything yet regarding that, because we are wanting to make one, but it's hard to know if and when we can. There's already a lot of topics that we know that we're discussing about if and when we can. For example, one of the big ones that a lot of Solasta 1 players want is the Dungeon Maker, right? Like, the Dungeon Maker allowed a lot of people to make
questions about that.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Because you can make fantastic adventures with that. Like, some of them I played and was like, wow, this is incredible. And right now we're thinking about, like, hey, I'm gonna shut up.
Happening.
Oh yeah, just 1 second here. I was just taking a long rest on the map.
Yes.
Who are you then, strangers?
Oh, that's great.
There is something about you. Don't fool yourselves. You cannot stop me. No one can.
Dang, those eyes, though. Makes her look like a wolf or something. That's crazy. That was great. Oh, you recognize that voice. Yeah, everyone in chat right now, I know that voice! Authority. That's right. No, it's not. What? Okay.
Red Nightmare.
Midnight Heart says, I think she's going to fix us, chat. I'm pretty sure she is. Yep. I'm pretty sure she is. Okay, so Coffee a Lot. This is something we talked about during our playthrough. And I'll give you guys an opportunity to talk about it. So one thing we noticed is that we have a 3 male, 1 female party. We only have 2 male voices, 2 females, so we ended up using 2 of the same voices on 2 of the guys, which makes the party conversation sound very strange. When you have 2 people talking to each other with the same voice. How are you guys going to address that? Is it going to be kind of like a preferentially used 2 male, 2 female? What are your thoughts on that so far?
I think we can say we spoke of that this morning, actually. With the other directors, and we thought about the pitching idea, just like in Dragon Age 4. And there is maybe a fear that do we need to do something with the actors, because we're kind of using their voice twice. It's not like AI, but it's changing their voice. So before we do that, we want to be sure that we're doing it, that it's safe. But we know 4 voices is not really enough for comfort. So first of all, we want to help the players realize, if they using autofill their party, that they currently have twice the same voice selected, because it's not obvious, and that you could at least realize that, oh, maybe I want to change that before you start your adventure. And for as we discussed that already, but adding a new voice is extremely expensive due to the number of lines for the heroes. So it's not in our plans right now, but pitching is what seems feasible, but it's being discussed, not decided yet.
Cool. Yeah, to put it bluntly, if I had known, that's like, if I had kind of thought about it a little bit or gotten like a pop-up, I probably just would have done 2 male, 2 female and gone with it. So
Yeah.
it seems like that's a great way to do that for sure. So Mr. Fruit over here says, I would love to know more about the whole hex crawl system. It seems very cool. How big of a part of the game is exploring the hex map, and what kind of things can we expect to encounter on that map?
How big? I mean, I hope it's a big part. There is the main story, and there are the quests related to the factions, and there is exploring this world of Neokos, and we really want you to want to see every hex. Which means when you travel, you will see things pop up on the horizon, and you will want to know what's there. It can be very small. It can be the beginning of a new quest because you find this document that contains a hint to another place when you can do stuff. So it's really, we are filling this world with a deep lore that you can learn to understand. You can have also insights to what's going to happen later or what happened before. Not to spoil too many things, but you will see things that will make you ask more questions, and I hope you will want to find the answers to those questions and understand all the secrets of Neokos. So that's really why the map is for, to have this real appetite for exploration. Also, I'm trying to add something that would feel like collecting stuff. For instance, like legendary monsters that you can hunt. And you will see, oh, there are that many monsters, and they are hidden everywhere in the world, and you will want to complete this hunt, I think. So this is really the spirit of the way it was designed.
There is also the fact that we have, there's a game called Wildermyth that you probably know about.
Oh yeah.
So we played Wildermyth, and we realized there's a lot of events that are done by community members. And because of Solasta 1, we already did quite a lot of the community challenges, for example, designing subclasses and the like. We kind of want to do that for world events as well in Solasta 2, where we are going to open creative writing to everyone, and they can submit events. And some of the events we might implement in games, so that you might have your event in a forest with skill check or combat, or we don't know yet what the limit will be, because of course it takes a lot of time after that to implement. So the harder the event is to implement, the less events we can implement. But the goal would be to have more and more as well, so that we have both the events written by the team, which is very lore specific and stuff like that, and the more generic D&D ones, where it's like explorators and adventurers, what they find in the forest, what they face, and all that kind of thing.
Oh, I love that.
I don't want to backseat, but you can use guidance, because I really want you to succeed.
Oh, down here. I was wondering what that was. Okay, yeah. Somebody earlier said, what kind of events can we talk about? So while we were talking, I got to a random map event. We found a sleeping kobold. I could have just killed it. I decided to talk to it. It is now telling us that it Tusa. It looks like this might be. He may be related to our Star Wars friend. Tusa, I lost looking for her folks. No, okay, she explains visibly frightened. You've seen him near water. No, east, west. Yes, west of the world, where her great and venerable majesty eases. So I'm going to use guidance. Oh wait, can I use guidance? Select a friendly creature.
Yes.
How do I select a creature here?
You select. You just select the answer.
Oh, just this, just like that. Perfect. Ah, cool. Suzu is now guided, 83%. And we got it. Really? You come with Tusa? Okay, but no other pinky faces. Oh, also, quick random thing. When I move to a tile, it shows me the amount to move from the tile next to it to that one. It's going to be a total number, right? Is that a bug? So like if I go to here, you see how it says 1 under my foot? But I'm assuming that should say 5, 2, 1, 9 or whatever that is.
Oh yeah, it shows the cost of the hexagon you're targeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But what you mean is it should show like the total, right? Or the
Yeah,
entire-
yeah. So like if I mouse to here, I feel like it should show the 5 to here, the 2 to here, and so this should say 8, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
we're probably gonna talk to our UX designer about that. So yeah, she's probably going to be agreeing on this kind of stuff as well.
nice. A couple quick map questions we actually have. Do you guys have any plans to allow water or mountain crossing, or is that all to kind of funnel the player mechanically?
And we have. When
So-
things are not yet done, I'm wary about announcing stuff, but yes. Oh,
Their
That's
song
fair.
has ended.
Another
Oh,
one.
how nice. You saved the little wizard girl.
Oh,
You sure she told you everything?
this is Jephthah. Well, now I'm not, Amelia. I was. Until you said something. Can we fix Amelia? No, I think she's gonna fix us. I wouldn't get too excited there. Somebody earlier said, when you pull up the main menu, can they implement a navigate to selected point where we click on the map? So I think that's already there. It's just they don't let you click outside of a single long rest. Is that what I'm thinking? Yeah, okay. So because they don't want you auto long resting, because long resting I'm assuming you want players to manually do that.
actually, you can select in the options. You can select to auto rest,
Oh,
and if you target a place, if the path has been visited already, you will go to the end of your travel.
okay. Let me check real quick. I will pull that up for the viewer and see real fast. Oh, look, we got a little kobold dude with us now too, because we're bringing him with us. Wait, the new password is pass. So wait, as we're coming back here, they're changing the password. This is a different event now, even though it's the same location.
Yes.
Oh
Funny.
Lord, so this is going to be a thing as we go through there, I think. All right, so we need to take. Where are we taking this little kobold? Do we have like a quest for this? There he is, right there. Look, Tusa the Terrible, a small humanoid. All right, if I go to J. Oh, we don't have a. Do we have a quest for this? I don't think
Funny
so.
story for Tusa. I think the design team added him as a quest because it was a very fun and people love him. So I'm not unhappy about this, but I know that production did not really intend for kobolds to be companions yet. So when they realized, they were like, this is not something that's planned. And then it was like, oh well, it's in the game now. So
Oh well, we're here now.
Yeah.
That is great. Out of curiosity, real quick, where do I put on the auto resting?
Oh, it's on the map options.
Oh,
the
it's on
travel
the-
option.
Travel options.
oh
Here,
it's
there
not-
we go. Oh, I see. Cool. Pause for temporary events. Pause on character exhaustion. Oh, so I have auto long rest turned on. So, and I have allow forced march turned on. Oh yeah, right there. You can see it'll go all the way back if I click it. Cool. Okay. Nice. Let's try up here. We can't fast travel into uncharted areas, but that makes sense.
No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
A hostile encounter. I'm going to hide from the enemy. We failed. Oh no. Okay, we're doing this. Satellus. Oh, actually, we asked your question earlier. If you want to go back and look at the VOD, but the short of it is they said that the characters and the designation of your characters and stuff will have more to do with your big selections and less about like dialogue stuff. Yeah. Hey Mushi, what's up, buddy? Streamer failed stealth classic code. Well, that's rude. That's very rude. Yep. Going back to some of our questions here. Have you guys talked about any estimated amount of time for Solasta 2? Are you guys shooting for like a smaller, more concentrated main campaign or something more on the scales of like an epic adventure kind of thing?
Well, Emil, you want to answer that?
Okay, sure. I mean, for early access, right now at launch, it should be around 10 to 15 hours or more, depending if you play like 10 hours in the character creator. And then with the updates, so some updates are going to be releasing more of the kind of like features. For example, we want to have, as you may have already seen the roadmap on our Steam page, the first update is going to focus mostly on adding multiplayer. So this is the big thing. So that means that there's not additional story elements. There will be more world events, but mostly it's going to be like, hey, you can now play with your friends. Whereas the second update is going to be adding part of Act 2. So hopefully it should grow over time, the length of the game, and at the very end, 1.0. Xavier, correct me if I'm wrong, but
I lost you.
Emil, did you cut out there?
I can't hear you. Is it the cat?
I think the cat. It was the cat.
Yep. That's on the, yep.
I've been there so many times.
Absolutely. So yeah, I was saying, Xavier, can you confirm? I think it was kind of like Solasta 1, where it's 40 hours, right?
Yes, okay. I think that I'd like it to be a little bit more, but at this point I can be sure. But just we rely on the time you'll spend, roaming on the map and finding everything, so it should be good 40 hours.
Awesome. Great. They answered this earlier, but I'll kind of go ahead and ask it again so they can, for anyone that may have come in, because this is one of the hotter questions we get asked. Will all classes and ancestries be available at full release?
So just answering that again. So at the moment we have 6. Hopefully we will have so more, like in the early access update we add more. We want to have all 12 classes by launch, on 1.0 launch, but we are not sure yet because it will depend a lot on the budget we have, the time we have, the manpower we have. So we can assure you that there will be more classes than what there is right now, because we have already started working on more. I'm not going to say which because we have not spoiled that yet, so I'm not going to do that now. But that's like we cannot promise all 12 classes for 1.0 because that would be a fake promise, and we don't want to overpromise. As for the ancestries, this is a little bit more of a difficult one because we have a lot of people requesting some, such as the Cyclist, for example, because it's like specific to Solasta 2 as a game ancestry. But it's also the fact that some ancestries are easier to add than others. For example, adding a gnome is way easier than adding a dragonborn, and we know that dragonborns are very popular, so it's like we want to add as many things as we can. But can we do that? At the moment, we're not sure, so we don't want to overpromise.
Cool. Sounds very responsible. I like that. Emilian says, do you guys plan for any romance options?
Xavier?
Well, no. We toyed with the idea, but I think if you do it, it really must be done very well, because it can become very cringe pretty fast if you don't. And we weighted how much difficulty would be for us, and I think we don't have the power to do this right for now. So there might be some love stories, but there won't be a romance in the sense that people expect to have this whole development relationship and what comes after. So, alas, no.
Yeah,
that's
the
fair.
Problem is, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Another problem is that, unlike a lot of the CRPGs, you're not playing a main character that romances companions. You're playing a full, family of 4. So how would romance work? Would be one of the character only be able to romance, etc. Oh, actually, I just realized you're fighting one of the bosses that we made, that roams the map. So good luck on that.
Yeah, I just noticed his total hit points and realized this is not going to end well at all. And then the 4 guys ran out from back here, and this is. I was just going to let it ride out. We'll see how it goes.
It's a challenge. It's possible. Yeah. Also, I always forgot when we speak romance, my idea was to romance companions. Because you will get a chance to know them on the long term. So that's why you could fall in love with one of these companions, but you won't be able to do base.
That sounds very fair. I pretty much know the answer to this, but a lot of people are not super familiar with this, so I'll go ahead and ask it. When the game comes out, will I be able to use my save from early access?
The short answer to that is probably no, because we try to keep it compatible, but as we add more features, more stuff, you have to remember that the previous save don't have those features implemented, right? So that means that suddenly you're adding information that the game doesn't know how to process because it has an older save. So normally between small patches, for example, we just released early access and we're going to do hot fixes, right? And maybe small patches in the coming weeks for the character creator and stuff like that. So those usually will try to stay compatible. But once we start adding new classes or multiplayer or anything like this, or for example, we adding the faction system or stuff like, you know, expanding on it, or new classes, new quests, there might be a moment where we have to force it so that we say, okay, you cannot load older save, otherwise it's just going to break everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, there are things that we, as I said, we cut from the early access because they were not ready, but they were supposed to happen at the beginning of the game. Like these new NPCs introducing their factions and quests. So if you pass that and you continue the game, you're going to miss a lot of the content. So, yeah, it's the problem with early access with story-based games, but that's it.
Very cool, very cool. Handsome One says, I just hope there's treasure behind the first waterfall, Solasta devs. Don't let us down. That's a very good point. Very good point. Donna Conda just wants to throw out there, if we could get an option to get the old dice rolls back, the sound of them and everything. So there may be a classic die roll enthusiast out there, if that's an easy thing to do. That's kind of fun. Intercept Orange. Here's a great question. And this actually is going to flow into the best way to follow you guys and interact with you guys. This question is, best way for us to report bugs / issues / challenges while we are playing the EA. What is the best way to get the devs this information?
So just go to our website, which is Solasta Game. Just Google Solasta and you'll probably just land on that. And there's a support page. So first of all, the support page has all the known issues that we've identified and sometimes even workarounds. And second of it is that there is a submit a ticket where it's like submit a bug or a feedback, and we have like a very elaborate way to make it with a lot of different fields so you can explain. Yeah, I see that you're showing it right now on screen, and you don't need an account or anything. It's just the top of the screen, just support. You click and it goes into our system. And like I said, this morning we had like 1.8 thousand right now tickets already. So yeah.
Oh, and wait, we can view other people's suggestions?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, no.
I was dang.
No, basically, we're using the software Jira, so we cannot we cannot have open viewing for that. But it's a button right on the right here with the little book. If you click on it,
the button on the up here, submit feedback, report a bug.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
And if you click on it, it should open a window and with different categories and all that kind of thing, so that it helps for us to understand exactly what you want to talk about.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's good. Excellent. Well, there we go. Just submitted my first bug report. All right. So guys, as we enter our last half hour, by the way, this is a very awesome, unique opportunity we have. We are again joined, for anyone just tuning in, Emil, the community manager of Solasta 2, and also Xavier, Xavier. Am I saying that right? I was saying Xavier, but Xavier.
Xavier, if you can
Xavier,
say that, yeah.
Perfect. Xavier, the game director of Solasta 2. So, yeah. Okay, now, Osef Marcher, I don't think you've watched our run yet because we've already run into this, but I'll let the devs expand on this. Will there be multiple choices with impacts on the story, or is this more of a linear game?
Oh, there are many choices with impacts, such as life or death for some people, and fate of the world kind of choice. Yes.
Very cool. Love to hear it. How long will here's a question. How are you guys feeling about console?
So when it comes to console, we just like for multiplayer, the difference with Solasta 1 is that we are starting with console and multiplayer in mind. That doesn't mean that it's available yet. It just means that the way that we build the game, we already know that we want to add console support. So for example, one of the big thing is that even in early access right now, there is controller support, which was not the case for Solasta 1.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
technically speaking, you can play on the Steam Deck, although performance is pretty okay-ish so far. It's like playable, but it's not like optimized. We did see some people on the forum saying that it's kind of rough for the cutscenes, but overall you can still play. Obviously, ideally, what we want is a 1.0 be Steam Deck compatible, absolutely. And then the other question will be, so when for the consoles, and the console is more a question of like, we are going to try to do that for 1.0, but we don't really know yet exactly. So we're probably going to announce more information when we get closer to the 1.0 release.
Great. Awesome. Let's see. Going over to chat. Good morning, Shadow. How are you? No, consoles almost never have early access. Yeah, that's not something that consoles generally do. So that's not uncommon at all. What is the developer's approach to cheese strats and fixing speedrunning bugs that would rarely affect normal gameplay? That's an interesting question.
When it comes to cheese, usually that's where like a lot of the cheese I get to see because I watch streamer play the game, and it depends on the cheese, right? Because like at the end of the day, when someone wants to break a system, they'll always find a way, right? Like they, we'll just admit that. So we cannot fix everything. We just fix the most egregious stuff when it's like, oh, okay, that's completely dumb, right? It's an oversight. But like sometimes it's more like that's fine. It's just they're
more
trying
of a
to break
creative use of game mechanics.
Exactly. So one of the example that we did fix was what we called I think it was Fairlight Excalibur that showed that to me first on Solasta 1, and it was like the Deep Fryer called. So they would cast a Spirit Guardian, which is every time an enemy goes into the area, they take damage. And then they would use Levitate on someone, but because Levitate was not using an action to move someone up or down, they would, in their round, just constantly put them up and down and up and down and up and down into the Guardian Spirit, and it would like deep fry them until they died. So of course, this is one of the things that we thought, that might be a bit stupid. Technically speaking, putting someone up or down takes a bonus action or something. So we're gonna fix that one. But otherwise, other things such as, if everyone is using greater invisibility, the enemy doesn't know where we are. It's like, yeah, I know. It kind of feels stupid, but at the same time, you're all invisible. So
that's kind of how it should work, right? That's kind of where it
exactly.
is. Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
I like that. Next wave says, what? Oh, go ahead, please.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think using is okay-ish if you feel like you're smart and doing something that should work. But if it feels like you're exploiting a bug, the feeling for the player is not maybe that great, and we want to maybe fix it.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds great. Somebody earlier says, what the hell is a cheese strat in a game like this? So like earlier, we were in an encounter with two like very large matriarch dogs and some small ones. And one of the things you could do to like cheese that fight is put your characters in a place where the dogs couldn't get to you. It's that kind of stuff. So, obviously some of those are bugs you're going to want to fix, but some of them may just be good creative ideas players are doing. So it's kind of that kind of thing. This is a more specific question. I don't know if we have any Druid fans on the panel. Any chance when you guys work on Druids, we can get a Wild Shape archetype? Wild Shape was pretty weak in Solasta 1, and Moon Druid is not. I'm not sure. SRD?
Yeah, SRD is the system document that we use to, do the D&D stuff without using the player handbook, because that one we cannot use. So when we work on the subclasses, one of the things that you have to keep in mind is for Solasta 2, there's only 2. So that means that if we do a subclass completely based on the, Wild Shape, that also means that so we only have like 2 basically. So one would be Spellcaster maybe, and the second one would be Wild Shape. The biggest issue we had with Wild Shape on Solasta 1 is that it was difficult for us to find a way to balance it due to, let's say, for example, like difficulty levels in Solasta was that, as you know, the more you up the difficulty, and usually the higher the CC value becomes. And because of that, when you focus a class on just pure stats, which is Wild Shape, which doesn't scale with items. It's just like you transform into a wolf. It has those stats of a wolf. So difficulty level doesn't change that, and it becomes less and less powerful. We did have a class, if you remember, in Solasta 1 that focused on the druid with the pet. And basically people were saying that at higher level, the pet was completely useless because it was getting destroyed immediately. It couldn't tank much, just simply because of the fact that the difficulty level didn't scale well with like a flat statted, pet. So we have to kind of see how we can deal with that before we commit to saying, yes, we're going to do a wild shape based druid. And also, I think 5.5, the wild shape has changed. I have to reread that because I'm not a druid player myself. So maybe it is possible that now it scales with the cleric. Clerics. The druid stats, and if it does, then maybe it has less of a problem.
Very cool. Great answer, man. So I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, and many of us will because of the way that the rule set works. But just in case, we'll go ahead and answer it or ask it. Will there be any cool combined skills between classes, like a flashy mage archer combo or anything like that?
That's not really D&D, but Xavier, do you want us to add something like this?
You mean the Solak? No, I don't really. I'm into multiplayer myself. I know there are some funny synergies. There used to be before.
I think they're less talking about the multi-classing and more about like, some things that some RPG do where it's like if our cleric does one skill and our mage does another, it explodes into a combination or something like that.
I think that's what they're asking. Like you could set up you could pre-spell with a ranger and then finish it with a mage and they do some combined attack kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Emil. There's not so many systems that do synergies between damage types and stuff like that in the rule set. So I don't have, I don't really have an idea about that. I think what works great is rogues because, rogues and sneak attack. This is my obsession. But there are so many ways to get advantage with this rule set that you can pretty much deal sneak attack all the time. So I personally tried having a crazy party with one fighter and 3 rogues, and it played well. It's a killing machine, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think to kind of go into next question a little bit more, I think a lot of the stuff you're looking for with that question is already in D&D, but it's done more with like effects you place and kind of making things in the right order and things of that nature to get those kind of big effects. Also, good time to mention, because again, this is not a lot of people know this. Games like Baldur's Gate 3 are what you would call homebrew. So they take a base game, but then they put a lot of their own flavor on it. Solasta 1 and Solasta 2 are far more traditional. In fact, you could kind of playing the two, you can tell that Solasta kind of goes to great lengths to deliver a more specific D&D experience. So this game is not going to have a lot of the kind of like flashy off the cuff things that wouldn't really make sense in D&D. This is the game that you play when you want to go for that D&D experience. This is what you're like, people want that D&D thing. That's what Solasta is. And please feel free to correct me if there's anything you guys want to add there.
No, that's pretty much it.
Yes. Agreed.
Awesome. Great. Modders are like, hold my beer. Well, they already said modders are gonna modding breaks all the rules. So
Sure.
Mod is welcome. you want to change something, you can change it. Like it's not gonna hurt anyone.
Belovic said, are there summoner classes in D&D? So that's more of a D&D thing. But do you guys want to talk about, are there any kind of like summonable creatures inside of any of the classes that people may want to latch to that like that stuff?
I do know that Xavier already designed one of the like magic staff to summon creatures, but it wasn't ready for early access, so we changed the power for the moment to not summon anything. I think it was a Staff of the Deep that you might find during your run. So right now I think it just like gives you I see like Cohh managed to kill the boss.
Well, the fight's not done. But we're getting there.
So in the future there are spells and normally items that allow you to summon, unless we manage to find that there's a big problem with summoning, which I hope there shouldn't. There should be like a few summon spells, but I don't think there will be a summoner archetype, if that's the question. It's like usually summoning does take your concentration in D&D. That means that you can't really just keep on summoning new creatures until there's like the battlefield's full of them. And also, just for your own fun and sanity, it's gonna take hours for the game to play if there's like billions of little wolves running everywhere in the map. So you might not want to do that.
Point. Yeah, that's a very good point. Are clerics and is there a necromancer class? Is there like zombie summoning of any kind? No. Okay. Oh my god, I killed the main guy, and now the archers are just one-shotting all of my people. Damn you archers. Let's see. I can't stabilize Suzu. We're gonna win this, damn it. We're gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this work. Oh, okay, bro. Come on. You gotta land those shots, my dude. All right, we got it. Anyway, when 1 point, okay, here's a question, and this is a little bit far off to ask, but you know what? We'll just ask early. When the 1.0 launch comes, are you guys expecting, and this is a really interesting question because this is becoming more of the norm. So when 1.0 launch comes, will you be releasing with a roadmap?
I think on this one, it's a little bit more complicated to answer because one of the reasons we do early access is to make sure that we have a 1.0 that's already solid. That doesn't mean we don't want to support it after 1.0. Just like in Solasta 1, what we did is we added more classes through DLC, we added more levels, we added a new campaign. But I think that it's projecting a little bit far right now to be able to say that we will definitely have a roadmap or not. There's no reason, I will say that, there's no reason that we do not continue to support Solasta 2, unless it's like a big failing, like no one buys the game, right? But in that case, we would have bigger problems with that. But yeah.
There would be much bigger problems in that case, yes.
Which is actually a good point to remind people that if you want to support the game, the biggest way to support us is just to leave a review once you're done. Because there's a lot of people who just play and okay, just close the game, and you know that's perfectly fine. I also do that a lot. But it's like if you want to support us, the easiest way is just to leave us a review.
And you were talking about on Steam.
On Steam. Awesome. And if you didn't like it, just negative reviews fine too. Like we're not saying like leave us positive reviews, just give us a fair try and let us know what you thought.
Awesome. Well, great. My normal spiel for games is to wishlist them, but yeah, I guess reviewing when your point is the next step. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
That's perfect. A quick basic question, but you guys can expand on this in any way you'd like. Will this game have co-op?
Xavier, go ahead.
Well, we have multiplayer co-op, if that's what you mean, on online. So you can play up to 4 players together, which is, we know for a lot of people, it's a game changer. The game is sometimes funnier if you play with your friends.
Yeah, it's planned for Q3 at the moment. If we don't get late on anything, it should be Q3 for multiplayer. And we are also discussing like a lot of different features for multiplayer that our programmers are like considering at the moment.
Excellent.
Such as can we do, for example, drop in, drop out, just like in BG3, so that you don't have to like stop the game, save, then load, and then like happen. We don't know yet if it's possible, but like it's like stuff we are trying to explore to see, could it be done? Yeah, plus, yes, no, we'll see.
Very cool. Very cool. Guys, we have about 15 minutes left, so if you have any questions you'd like to ask Emile or Xavier, this is the time. Has there been any talk about a level cap on 1.0?
Yes, level 10. So far.
I kind of wish you just would have been, yes, next question. We have decided. So level 10 is going to be, okay, cool. And I'm assuming that's level 10 including multi-classing, so like 6 fighter, 4, like, okay, cool, great, perfect. Which, by the way, is in the game. I saw somebody ask that earlier, said, can we multi-class? Yes, every time you level up, it actually lets you pick what you want to do, which is pretty cool. So yes, that is a whole thing. William Wall, just to expand on your question real quick, because I've seen another couple people answer it. They're trying to get all classes in for 1.0, but they do not know if that's going to be feasible. They're doing a best effort right now. So they're going to tell us more about that during the development process. Private Casper says, is that the level cap permanently, or do they intend to be increased with future DLCs potentially?
I mean, if we do DLCs, it's probably going to increase the level cap at some point, because it's what we did in Solasta 1. Usually when you do more DLCs or more adventures, people want to, keep on leveling up. So it's a high possibility that it's going to be a yes.
Awesome. Demu says that they announced all the expected classes. They're going for everything. And now, have you guys announced all the subclasses that you're doing?
We did say that we aim for 2 per class, but we haven't announced the new classes yet that are not yet in the early access. So we haven't announced the subclass either because one goes with the other. So
awesome. Here's a pretty specific question, but this is probably great for a lot of people. Is there a way other than a short rest to advance time in the game? I'm stuck on a quest that has to be done at night, but short resting doesn't advance the day enough to trigger what I need to advance.
Sounds like a bug. Yes, you can make time move forward by doing short rests. And we know we have some specific stuff happening some nights that require you to take a long rest.
Okay.
Even though you're already at night. But it shouldn't be like that, but it's probably a bug.
Awesome.
Yeah, the harbor.
The haunted harbor. Yep.
Yeah, if it's the haunted harbor, either try to long rest or try to exit the map and just go back in. We do know that there's an issue there, and we're working on fixing it.
You can't really ask more than live bug support during an interview with the developers. There you go. Awesome. Thank you, devs. Small but rock solid. I'm going to guess this is a no, but we got to ask. Can we get a hint on the next class that is coming? Of course.
Can we?
That's up to you.
I mean, I haven't gotten the permission, so I'm not gonna tempt the devil.
That's fair. Maximus says, don't you think allowing multi-classing diminishes class identity? Personally, I think it adds more customization, but what do you guys take on that?
That's an interesting question because I don't think everyone agrees in the studio. Which is why there wasn't multi-classing in the first game, but because a lot of people wanted it, we did it, but I think we're not big fans of that. Yes, we think the classes in 5.5 especially are good enough to do pretty much all you want. But that being said, we added a system because it was in the rule set we're adapting.
Yeah, I also, as somebody, as a gamer and a dev that really likes player choice, I think it's kind of nice that the players can have that, and they can just main a class and have that class identity, or they can decide not to. Like when I leveled up all my guys, I didn't even look at multi-classing because I want my core pillars in my group, and that was the choice I made, and that's fine. So yeah, cool. Let's see, guys. We have 10 minutes left. We have gotten so much amazing information today. Yeah, this is great. Zero T-Man, will there be anything about the classes that is new that were not in Solasta 1? And I don't know if Zero T-Man is aware of the rule change, but if you guys want to briefly touch on that too.
When it comes to the classes, I think that the biggest change that from Solasta 1 is first, obviously, the fact that we're in D&D 2024, so it's like 5.5 rule set. That means that there's a lot of different things that are there, and also when it comes to the subclasses, yes, there will be new things because every class has one subclass coming back from Solasta 1. Although on top of that, they are also very often rebalanced or tweaked a little bit, so that we can fix the issues that we had in the first game. And they will also have a subclass from Solasta 2, so a brand new one. For example, you've already seen here that the fighter got the Aether
Warden?
Warden, yeah, Aether Warden. There's subclasses, new subclasses for every single class. So,
awesome.
Is that done? Is the fight over?
I think the fight ended, but it's acting like I still have somebody I need to rescue. Is that what's going on?
Is Dusa about to die?
Also, she's almost dead.
I think Nuri is about. How do I identify what their current level of death is?
If you look, I think all of them are fine-ish.
I think it's Torsa. It's the Kobold. She has 2 turns before.
Okay, so I got to save the Kobold. Where is the Kobold?
But
you are right there. There you are.
She's already dead, so you need the resurrection.
I think the game said, you know what? We don't really want you to do that right now.
Oh.
I think it just crashed.
The game
wait a second. Did it not auto-save after the fight?
I hope it's saved. I hope it's saved for
We'll see. Oh man, I'll have to play more of the game if it didn't. Oh no, not more Solasta too.
I'm sure production is going to take that that little clip and say, you see, that's why we talked before adding a Kobold companion.
There you go. Oh, that guy. Oh, look at it. It had a great save. It had a great. Oh wow. Wait, it auto saves during fights. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, man. We're like right at the end of the fight now.
Whew.
Okay,
Save.
man, that's great. Awesome. We'll go from here. James T says, these guys are super cool. I agree. Can we ask what their specific favorite part of the game is? We'll start with Emil. And remember, you only get one choice and you have to decide in the next 10 seconds. Go.
Whoa. Favorite part, I think it's a world map for me. It's the fact that now you can just walk around and do what you want here. And exactly the thing about like the fact that we can have something else than just combat encounters on the world map is such a big plus, because it feels more like a choose your own adventure book, which is one of the big part of my childhood. And I really think that it adds a lot to the adventure. And I'll let Xavier talk.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I'd say it's the companion system, and you're just scratching the surface right now. But this is what I prefer about everything we added.
Absolutely lovely. You know what I think I just realized? I can't target the kobold to stabilize him. So I think that's... I don't know...
What could happen is the battle will be over, and you should get the same window to use resurrection.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So we should be okay. Great. I'll keep a guy like sitting right next to him.
He's dead, as you can see. He's like 4 turns before he's completely dead.
So how do we deal with that, or can we deal with that?
You have a pearl that's supposed to allow for resurrection, but I do believe that actually this is a bug due to the fact that it wasn't supposed to be a companion. It was just added a little bit hastily.
I was gonna say, you don't mean that pearl I threw at the enemy, did you?
No.
Okay.
Normally you like, if you look at your inventory, you should have like a resurrection pearl that you like.
It's called an Aether Pearl, and it's basically a scroll of Revivify.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
But our QA is telling me live that it's probably not going to work because of the fact that the kobold was not supposed to be a companion. Again,
they're gonna really get that dagger in there, aren't they?
Yeah. So if it does crash, they are actually asking you if you can save the save file.
Absolutely, I would be happy to. I love that so much.
And now she feels cold out, our QA. But it's you talk to me, and now you have to deal with it.
This is why you do early access, man. You can't account for all this stuff. It's impossible. The bigger the game, the more little weird things can happen, and the more you just need to play the game to find it. So that's cool.
This is the good old designer trick. You put something in the build, and it's not supposed to be there. Everybody loves it, and you say, see, we have to finish the feature because everybody wants the kobold.
Yep, that's right. Just for the record, like 4 out of 10 without the kobold, but a solid 9 out of 10 with the kobold. So just something to consider. Yeah.
So just to let everyone know, if you do recruit the kobold, please make sure she doesn't die in the combat. Now that
protect your kobold.
Exactly.
Yeah. Kobold peoples. This is serious. Hashtag protect your kobolds. Oh, that's not good. I should have dashed. Ooh.
We're gonna see if it crashes now. Hopefully it doesn't.
Okay, I'm gonna try to lure him out a little bit. Oh, let's go in and get him. Here we go. This might be it. 70% chance. Here we go. Failed, because of course I did. Of course I failed. Okay. Oh, here's a couple quick ones as we're out the door here. Is there any plan for a home base or bastion / house system?
Me.
Why me? We cannot confirm or infirm anything for the moment.
Sounds great.
And let that be the
answer. We can say no.
I love that. Community manager. Why me? Huh? What? Oh, here's a great question, and unfortunately, I feel like I'm going to ask this to Xavier, and he's going to go, do you have an hour that I could respond to this on? But this is a good question, just a quick kind of surface level. How do you go about innovating new features versus copying from other games?
Sorry, I don't understand the beginning of the question. What is the question exactly?
So, like, basically, if you see another game, like we'll just say like Baldur's Gate 3, if you see them doing something that you go, oh, that's a great idea, what do you do to bring that into the Solasta world that isn't just copying it? How is your thought process when it comes to that?
I don't think there is a great solution for that situation. Either it's something super specific that needs to be exactly the same thing, or you just try to think about your own interpretation of why you like this feature and what you can keep without doing the same thing exactly. But the question is very open, so yes, it's difficult. You always get inspired by the games you play. So if you have a great idea from a game you played 10 years ago, maybe no one's going to notice you're doing the same thing. But if it's BG3, everybody will see it.
A little bit, yeah.
So I don't have an example in mind, but I think it's okay. We're speaking about the scavenger system. If someone else does it, I'm super happy. They're not stealing an idea. It's just recognition that it was a good idea on our part. So, yeah.
Awesome. No, that's a fantastic answer. I'm currently working on a game that is an amalgamation of all the things I've enjoyed up until this point. So there's a lot of that exact same thing where it's like you pick and choose and immerse it in your world in a way that really makes sense and makes it feel special, and iterate when you can, basically. So yeah, that's kind of, we talk about all the time on this channel how game dev is iterative. And that question just kind of directly played into it. Couple quick questions. How does looting work in multiplayer?
Should be the same as in single player, as in like everyone has their own. So
everyone can loot everything.
Everyone can loot everything, and you can yell at your friends for being a loot goblin, just like you can do that on Tabletop RPG.
Perfect. Uriel says, will classes be free or will some be locked behind a paid DLC? I don't think they can answer that yet because they've said a couple times during the interview already. They're trying to get all classes into 1.0. So before knowing if that's going to happen, I don't really think, and correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah, I don't really think they can talk about anything beyond that. So, okay. So as we'll have one big last question here. Let's talk weapons. Are we going to have plenty of different weapons besides the norm? Spears, halberds, flails, katars? Can we mix and match in a dual wield option?
When it comes to weapons, and the reason why we don't have some very unusual weapons is because every added animation makes it heavier for it's more expensive. So that's why you will not see, for example, reach weapons. We already talked about that in Solasta 1.
Yeah.
The reason why you don't have long spears or halberd is because you would need an animation for the long reach and then one for the shorter reach. And it's when you add all that together, it's a bit of a sad thing, right? Because it's that adds more tactical aspect to the game. But at the same time, it's do we have the money to do that? So obviously, we would love to add more, but that's also one of the questions where it's is it really necessary? As in, what brings more variety to the tactical aspect of the game? So reach weapon would, or what is just looking cool, and then it's but it's just a reskin of a longsword at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
Yes. Well, we have plans for weapons with small powers.
Magic weapons, absolutely, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, guys, thank you so much for today. It is very rare that we get 2 full hours of 2 key positions in a dev team. So just, I think I speak for everyone here. Thank you not only for your time, but the wealth of information that you guys have provided today. So guys, as we round out this, I just want to give this again, big shout out. This is all about Solasta. Oh,
applaud.
Thanks, Amelia. Just had an Amelia voice line playing the channel. So this is all for Solasta 2. This is a very cool new CRPG. You do not need to play the first one to play this. This game is basically just more in almost every way from the first one. And the first game is great. I recommend it, especially to D&D enthusiasts. It's one of the most
do that, buddy?
faithful interpretations of the D&D rule set we've seen in a video game format. And it looks like they're just taking everything to the next level with this one. So one of the best things you can do right now, if you don't go and just buy the early access, which there's already a good amount of content in, is leave a review if you do end up trying it. It really does help them. So before we go, guys, Emile, Xavier, any final words you guys like to throw out there?
No, thank you very much. Drink water. Apparently, it's the time to drink water.
Yes.
And yeah, just as usual, if there's anything that you guys want to do to help us, it's just when you play the game, if you play the game, just leave us a review on Steam. And also, as you have seen, take care of your kobolds. Don't let them die. It will crash your game.
Load-bearing kobolds. Yes.
Exactly.
You need to must protect. Must protect. Absolutely.
That's it for me.
Well, not much to add. Thank you, everyone, for your interest and your support. For most of you, it's really great for us. And to you also, Cohh, it's a pleasure always to watch you and to see you support us. So thank you.
Absolutely. You guys make it really easy with what you do. So on that note, guys, that is going to be the end of our interview. Go buy this game. Go check it out. Final shout out, by the way, if you do end up playing EA and you want to be a part of making it better, solasta-game.com. Just click on support. You can add feedback there. And clearly the devs are reading it. So if you want to be a part of the development process, you know where to go. Guys, thank you so much for being here. And, hopefully maybe we can talk a little bit as we get closer to release, talk about the whole production process and how it's been going and how you're feeling about it. So this has been great. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye-bye.
great one, guys. Bye-bye. Guys, that was nothing short of awesome. I tell you, man, it is so cool to get a direct look into what makes some of our favorite games. And I can tell you with the EA that I've spent in this game, this is quickly becoming one of the CRPGs that I think we're going to have to pay very close attention to. All-star cast, insanely immersive, traditional D&D rules that really work. I mean, this is awesome. So, as Waz Python just mentioned, by the way, if you do want to check out the first Solasta, apparently it is 75% off on Steam right now. So, like I did say, I recommend the first game. The first game is cool. They did say you don't need to play it for the second, but it is still just an awesome game with some DLC. So definitely go there and check that out as well. Guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take an early lunch. I need to run some errands and I have a quick meeting. I should be back probably 11:30 or 12 or so, and we're going to get some more fun in this afternoon, be it Slay the Spire 2 or something. And then we will also be back this evening for most likely something too. It's going to be fun. Anyway, on that note, thank you again to our friends Emil and Xavier of the Solasta 2 development team. And man, I'm very excited to see this game keep going. All right, guys, I'll be back in just a little bit. Thanks for being here. Back soon. Bye-bye.
Bring on the wall of good vibes.
You again. By order of Mordaxius, the true master of the Acolytes, your life must remain vanquished. Don't resist. It'll be quicker that way.
All these empty houses with nothing but sorrow and shadows in them. I see you're confused. Ignore the clouds in your mind. The villagers need your help, and the Vitrometus is no place for weaklings. It will be a difficult task, but together you will rebuild this town. Find a safe place and hone your skills to prepare for the challenges ahead. And there will be many. For the eternal prison knows no bounds. There's no way out of this prison, wanderer. Nor from the unceasing grip of death.
Oh no, he's back. Here we go. What's the meaning of this? I step away for 1 second and you think you can get away with using some shabby long distance treatment on me? Ridiculous, disrespectful. I came here for the highest quality doctors, personalized care. Whatever happened to that? You, the disheveled looking dropout behind the screen. Oh, come on. I don't wear my beanie for one night. 2 nights. Cosmo says, Cobb, you look like a bum. Well, at least I know how to type. That's just jelly of the flowing locks. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's just CohhCarnage.
Oh, to hell with the ceremony. That man will pay for what he's done.
Is that a promise? I'm just gonna have to play wet tonight, I guess. Oh, super penetration with a PDW.
What, you want to ask me on a date or something? I'm busy.
This is Violet. This is 18 plus, but I want to share it with you in case you didn't know this one yet. Uh-oh. Well, we're playing an adult game, so it's fine. What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? You can't hear an enzyme. Talk about anticlimactic? Yeah, that's what your girlfriend said. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Did that come out? What does your wife call you? My wife calls me daddy. Because we have 2 small kids, and that's generally the name that we want, you know, them to call me as well. So we call it, like, I call her mommy. She calls me daddy. Cohh, give me motivation to finish my last project and end this semester of school. Okay, Draconia, I'm writing your name down. You are permanently banned from the channel. You can whisper me on Twitch. My whispers are open, and you need to whisper me an A or above to get unbanned in the channel. So focus up.
You want to get greedy or not?
What's that mean?
I don't really mind. If you two need the money, I don't give a shit. You can kill me. I don't care.
Oh, no, man. It's all good. Honor over victory, man. Oh, okay. Well, Jesus. My friend claims that he accidentally glued himself to his autobiography, but I don't believe him. But that's his story, and he's sticking to it. Hey, Servani. Good to see you. I will say I so far am definitely digging the weapon and crafting system. That seems pretty... Die in the tutorial, chat. Oh no. I thought that guy knew where he was going. He didn't. Great. Stay alive. Just stay alive. Oh god.
Yeah, me and Barry
Just
are
stay
dealing
alive.
with the John.
Oh god. Can you guess if I saved the game?